the voice of the Lady Raiders, Dick Palmer.
Thank you. Welcome in. It's time for Rick Ensel Live, and we are live at the Boulevard Bar and Grill here in Murfreesboro, right across from campus. Middle Tennessee basketball is alive and well, and Coach, we're starting the show a little bit early this season for a couple of reasons. One is we've got a game on a Monday night in January, so and another is we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of Murphy Center.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. I was there.
I was going to ask.
And Middle did not win the game. I saw where some people on Facebook thought they did, but we didn't. But it was a heck of a game.
You stole my thunder again. No, because my first question to our crowd here, how many were there the night Vanderbilt came in to open the Murphy Center in 1970? Let's see some hands. Coach was there.
Jim was in the ticket booth.
I wish I could have been there. I had other duties in Memphis, but
you weren't there. What God? And you're the voice of the Lady Raiders now?
Well, you know, I had another job at the time, but I'm really happy to have been a part of this for a big part of my life. You know?
I know.
I want to open by telling you that you have some handouts on your table compiled by Carson Herbert. I think we ought to introduce Carson. He is our new media relations contact. There he is right here. Does a great job. He is a long way from home from South Dakota, but we're glad he's in Murfreesboro.
We've been to South Dakota several times. I never saw Carson up there, though.
He's probably under 6 feet of snow.
Yeah. You were up there with us several times.
I was. We're going to do our headlines now, and as always, brought to you by the Murfreesboro Post, Rutherford County's local newspaper. Subscriptions to the Post are just $20 a year for 52 issues. You can visit them online at murfreesboropost.com. I get that delivered once a week to my mailbox, and I check it every morning on the internet. And here are some key headlines. Of course, you all know that this is the 50th anniversary celebration of the Murphy Center. What you probably don't know is that the Lady Raiders, in the 48 years of women's basketball at the Murphy Center, are 487 and 128. Okay, that's over 10 wins, home wins a year. And I got a little number on Coach Ensel. Coach Ensel has been responsible for almost half of those 487 wins. Coach, I've got your record at 213 and 43 in the Murphy Center. That's not counting the state tournament. Now, he had several games in the state tournament in his years at Shelbyville, so I'm sure we've got probably 30-plus more wins there. But anyway, that's quite an accomplishment. Another headline, Middle Tennessee has received votes in both the AP and the coaches poll after the win over Louisville last week. In the net rankings, and I'm going to get Coach to explain what that is a little later, but in the net rankings, Middle Tennessee is now ranked 18th in the country. That's up 4 from its previous spot at 22. The Lady Raiders are the only Conference USA school and the only program in Tennessee in the top 25. How about them apples? And lastly, but not least, Savannah Wheeler, who was the Conference USA Player of the Week last week, also named to the NCAA.com starting 5. That's a national honor after winning that conference honor a week ago. She's also leading the Raiders in scoring and in assists. Those are your headlines brought to you by the Murfreesboro Post. You also have on your table a card or cards, and I've warned several of you beforehand, what we want to do is get your favorite memories of Murphy Center. And you can bring them up here, and we'll go over some of them on the air, all of them if we have time. Your favorite game, your favorite players, whatever comes to mind that you love about women's basketball at the Murphy Center, okay? And I've already got several responses up here, so just fill them out. And Carson, if you'll hold your hand up, Carson can come by and pick them up and bring them up here. And the final thing here, Coach, on this segment, Diane Turnham is going to be with us about halfway through the program, our senior women's administrator, to talk about this, and also Title IX, which is also celebrating an anniversary. So that is, you've got a treat in store for you tonight. We're live on the Blue Raider Network, on the Varsity app. We're streaming live on Facebook, and we are on True Blue TV tonight, on the Blue Raider app, on your website. So we're pretty well covering the waterfront.
It's a big week this week.
Yes.
Big week. Starting off with the coaches' shows, and we got a game Wednesday night and a game Thursday night. And then I think, do our men have another game this week too?
They've got Chattanooga on Thursday night, for the anniversary.
Okay.
Right.
Do they have another one Saturday?
I think they do on Saturday. We'll check that.
I know we play the following Tuesday, which we play Rice there.
Okay, we'll take our first break, and we'll be back with more Rick Ensel Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
For close to a century, doctors and care teams at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford have been dedicated to delivering compassionate, personalized care to Rutherford County and surrounding communities. We are leading the way with new services and healthcare options, and we continue to make significant investments in Rutherford County. In 2023, we're opening Tennessee's first neighborhood hospital at West Lawn, and expansions at our Rutherford Hospital campus are underway. Find all the care you need at ascension.org/St. Thomas Rutherford.
This holiday, whether you're roasting a Kroger Simple Truth turkey for 40 or making a Murray's Baked Brie for 2, whether you're baking a pie with fresh Cosmic Crisp apples like Grandma's or ordering private selection cream pies when Grandma's pie is all gone, Kroger has fast, fresh delivery and free pickup, so you can make holiday meals that bring you all together to create memories that last. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Put Lee Company on your team to keep you and your family warm this season. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good no matter how cold it gets. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good to go no matter how cold it gets. And while you're at it, ask them how to get endless hot water by installing an energy-efficient tankless water heater. Schedule your appointment today at leecompany.com or give them a call at 615-867-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
Have you heard about the MTSU debit card from Ascend Federal Credit Union? Use it online, in stores, or add it to your mobile wallet. You can even use it at the 2 ATMs on campus if you need some cash. Visit one of Ascend's 4 Murfreesboro branches or visit Ascend online at ascend.org. Bank where Blue Raiders belong. Ascend Federal Credit Union, exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Ascend is federally insured by NCUA.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU Athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 82 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. The Blue Raiders on News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back into Rick Ensel Live, coming to you from the Boulevard Bar and Grill right here in the borough and right across from campus. What a great atmosphere tonight, Coach. Look at the crowd tonight.
We got a packed house.
Yeah.
Absolutely packed
Wonderful.
house.
So if you want to come out and join us in person, you've still got time. They've got big screen TVs. You can watch your favorite game. I think they've got Monday Night Football coming up. We've got a hockey game on, and I know you want to see the hockey game, but we'll get on into that later. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town. For your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs, Lee Company is the team to call. Call them at 615-867-1000 or online at leecompany.com. Well, Coach, we've got 8 games in the books right now, and 6-2. Team has won 4 straight, trending in the right direction, as they would say. Let's talk about some of these early games. In case the folks have forgotten, we opened the road at Mercer down in Georgia against a team who was picked to win their conference, and that was rather a strange ending to a very close game.
Well, I would have liked to have not got behind 22, 23 points, but it just showed, what our team was about. The same thing they did last year. We came back, took the lead, and it was a questionable shot at the end. 5.5 seconds to go, and if you put a stopwatch on it, it went like 6.7, I think. So they've got the right to put a stopwatch on it, but they didn't do it. They called the game and ran off. But again, before the girl shot the ball, she walked too. So, and they admitted that. But it goes down as a loss, and of course that could hurt us at the end of the year. Let's hope it doesn't. But it was they've got a good team. We showed a lot of guts and character coming back.
Yes.
And I was real proud of our team. You couldn't be mad at them when you did what you did, and we got on the bus and came back to middle. But that's us. That's the way we play. We're in every game.
Jalen Gregory had a great game down there with 20 points and hit a bunch of 3-pointers. And
I hadn't even looked at the stats. When I lose a game, I don't go back and look at it. Yes, she did. She did.
But they scored on a last-second shot that really came off of a missed shot, and it was just a lucky rebound. It went.
The girl threw it up. Just slung the ball. We lost a game like that last year at Troy. The girl punched the ball, and it went up on the backboard and fell in. Didn't shoot it, punched it like you was a punching bag or boxing or whatever.
Well, the next time out, and we started with a couple of tough games on the road. The team that won the Missouri Valley last year, Southern Illinois, went up there to play them in Springfield, and probably one of our better starts of the season.
Well, we were pretty focused. We just totally took them out of the game. I think with first quarter we scored 26 points, 21 points, 27 points, and then we, kind of let everybody else play to finish it up. But I guess we could have got into the hundreds if we wanted to. But she's a first-year coach. They had a lot of talent. We just played well that night.
And then we came home, our first home game against a pretty good area rival in Belmont, and we came out and had a great night against Belmont.
You wonder why we're 18th right now in the net rankings, and you go look at those 3 games. You got Mercer on the road, Southern Illinois on the road, then Belmont, which has got everybody back, and Tennessee had to hit a shot last year in the second round game to put them out. Right. Tennessee hit a last-second shot to beat Belmont at Tennessee and goes on to the Elite Eight. So Belmont's got a very good basketball team. They're well coached, and I think if you look back at that game, you got to look at Alexis Whittington. She shut down their best scorer to I don't even know how many points she ended up getting. Destiny Wells, she ended up getting 5 points.
Yep.
And she was their leading scorer, like 17 or 18 points, and Alexis just did a job on her.
So the Raiders now 2-1 going into the Las Vegas tournament. We're going to take a break and come back, talk a little bit about those games and the more recent games right after this. We'll take a break. Rick Unsel Live continues on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
Hey, basketball fans, this is Coach Ensign, and I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about litter problems on our roadways. Did you know that the Tennessee Department of Transportation spends over $23 million each year just to pick up the litter? There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, our waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter. Remind others not to. And report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you'll never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus and try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market now open. Located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information or visit our office in the Keithley University Center, room 202.
Blue Raider fans, with more local brews than ever before, you are sure to find a local favorite this season in the Blue Raider Beer Garden. Enjoy the thrill of the game in the south end zone at each home football game. And try out our selection of brews from Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, or Life is Brewing. All available for your tasting pleasure in the Blue Raider Beer Garden. Thank you, Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, and Life is Brewing for your support of MTSU Athletics.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
Hey Blue Raiders fans, the Mint Gaming Hall Kentucky Downs is a proud partner of your Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. For good times and big wins, the Raiders and the Mint Gaming Hall deliver both. Located close by in Franklin, Kentucky, the Mint Gaming Hall is your spot for great food, cold drinks, and big jackpots. Ready for dinner? The all-new Iron Steakhouse awaits you. Come hungry and be prepared to be impressed. Check out themintgaming.com for all the details. Get your big hit today.
The Blue Raiders on News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Welcome back in to Rick Enzo Live. We are live at the Boulevard Bar and Grill right here across from the campus, East Main Street at Middle Tennessee Boulevard. I'd like to have you come by and visit with us. If not tonight, make your plans. We'll be here just about every Monday night after the first of the year, with a couple of exceptions. At Tri-Green Equipment, they know the value of teamwork. They have the tractor packages with the implements you need. Get started online at TriGreenEquipment.com and score a new John Deere tractor package at a comfortable low monthly payment price. Tri-Green Equipment is a tried and true partner of Middle Tennessee Athletics. And Coach, after that Belmont win, we're feeling pretty good about ourselves and hitting the road to Las Vegas for the tournament out there. Went out there, I think, on a Tuesday, played on Friday and Saturday. And the first game was against Texas Tech. So it was the Red Raiders against the Blue Raiders on that particular night.
Well, we'd like to have that game back. We led them the whole game to the last, 3 or 4 minutes, and then we just fell apart. That's unlike us. We didn't handle the ball. We didn't shoot the ball well. We didn't execute our offenses. There's not anything in the last 2 or 3 minutes that we did well, and ended up costing us the game. It's just one of those games.
They had the lead for all of 1 minute and 28 seconds, but when it counted, they had the lead.
I didn't even look at that, but you're right. That was that's when it counted. And then we came back and played I think in that game, Ksenia did well and Alexis did well. One of them had 19, one 12, and I think Savannah Wheeler had 12. Courtney had 14 rebounds in that game.
Yep.
We came back and played a very good Missouri State, and again, we just totally dominated Missouri State. Ended up beating them 79-54. I doubt if they'll have been beat that bad in a long time. And then, Courtney ended up with a double-double that night. Savannah Wheeler ended up with 24. Alexis Whittington ended up with what looks like maybe 8.
Yeah, that's the game that Alexis didn't finish the game.
Yeah, she got hurt.
Yep.
She got hurt. That's right. So, I was real proud of our team. I'd like to have come back with two wins, but we came back 1-1 and had to play a tough Tennessee Tech team.
There was, after that tournament, there was some negative publicity put out by one of the coaches. And, the conditions weren't what we were accustomed to, but I never heard you complain one time about
we just play the game. Our kids don't care where we play. We'll play anybody if they'll come back to Murfreesboro and play us. And when we go to these type tournaments, one of the things Matt schedules those tournaments for us, we want to play competition. We don't want to go there and have a sure win. Right. We'd like to have had 2 wins, but we played 2 quality opponents, ended up 1-1. And again, I think that's figuring into our net ranking right now. But then we come back and have to play Tennessee Tech, which is picked to win the OVC.
So they had a good field out there. They had a top 10 team in Indiana. They had another ranked team out there. So this was not a tournament of no names.
Probably the best group of. I think they had maybe 12 teams there, and probably the best group of 12 teams of any tournament that was out there.
Right. In fact, Memphis was out there. I think a team that we just
St. John's was
playing.
there. Auburn was there. St. John's was there. Indiana was there. I really can't. Matt probably knows all the rest of the teams, but Texas Tech, us, Missouri State, so that gets you about 9 right there. But I think there was 12 teams there.
After we got back from Vegas with a win and a loss, the record was 3-2, and we have Tennessee Tech coming in for Education Day. And it's great to have the Education Day back on the schedule after a 2-year hiatus.
Well, we had to drop it because of COVID, but we've led the country in Education Days for the last 5 or 6, 7 years with our attendance. And, again, we brought in a quality opponent with Tennessee Tech. I think they were a little hacked off the fact that we didn't let them know that we bring, but they knew. Diane had alerted them, and their fans may not have known, and maybe their players, but the coaching staff knew that they were coming into an Education Day. And wasn't really a big deal. I mean, you get to play before a crowd like that, you need to get excited.
Exactly. And they can, those kids will excite even the visiting team coming in.
It took us, I think the first quarter, they were leading us 19-18. I think the noise and the crowd itself affected us early more than it affected them. But then we got ourselves together, and I think what we end up, 8 and 11, which is 19, 25 points the next 3 quarters.
Yeah, 65-26 in the last 3 quarters. And I think it was the biggest margin of victory that in women's basketball that we've ever had over Tennessee Tech.
Well, I don't look at that. I mean, I'm glad we did win the game, but we were not trying to run the score up. I can tell you that. But it's not my job to get them better. It's my job to get us better.
Good way to look at it. I thought Courtney Blakely had a really good game. And, again, she was on their best scorer, I think, that night.
I think she was. She shut her down, I believe, didn't she? Let's see who. Brock ended up with 9 points. Blakely is a horse, guys. I mean, she's a horse. She's had some great games for us and stepped in when Lex went down, and I think her biggest cheerleader has been Lex. That's what you got to look at. I mean, Lex has been helping her in practice, and she's on the floor. She's telling her stuff in huddles. I mean, that's what you got to have.
As bad as it is to have to play games without Alexis, it's probably going to help Courtney Blakely down the road somewhere because she's getting some valuable experience out there.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, I've said all along we got 7, maybe 8 starters, and I mean that. We got a couple of young ladies on the bench that could start for any team in the country, and they're getting a lot of minutes for us. Ksenia would be one of them. Courtney Blakely's one of them. And then, you can't forget about Tamia Scott right now. I mean, then you got Jada Grantham. I was watching Jada this morning in practice, and she had a great practice. So, we're very fortunate that we got some very, very good players.
So, and then the Raiders are winning over Tennessee Tech. Louisville comes to town next. And, of course, a lot of excitement about that game because they're a ranked team. And the last time we played Louisville, they didn't treat us too well. As far as the outcome of the game was concerned, but this time was a different story.
Well, Louisville, we got to thank Jeff Walsh for bringing his team. He's got tough enough competition around. He brought his team to Murfreesboro to play us, and he did that because of the relationship he's got with Matt and the relationship he's got with me. And, I thanked him after the game, and I still appreciate him coming down. We got to go back up there. But, it was we played well. And, again, I think if you look, you'll see Van Lith. What did she end up getting in that game?
She had 4 for 16.
I think Courtney Blakely guarded her that
she
night.
did. Had 12 points.
So
coming off a 21-point average.
That we're still learning. I mean, Courtney Blakely's a sophomore. Jalen Gregory's a sophomore. You just look right down through Anastasia is a sophomore. So Tamia Scott's a freshman. So we've still got a very young basketball team.
In that Louisville game, Savannah had 23 points and 6 rebounds and 5 assists, and that's the game she got Player of the Week in the conference for. Courtney Whitson had a double-double, 16 and 10.
I believe that's the second double-double she's had this year.
And Ksenia came off the bench with 15 points. So
played a good game. Ksenia played a good game.
So the Raiders starting to get a little attention from the national press after beating Louisville, a ranked team, and then we go to Memphis. And this was a game where your team could have had a letdown coming off a big win like that.
We did have a letdown, third quarter.
Yeah, but not in the first two.
No, first 2 quarters were great. We didn't execute. We were running our offense, but we were not executing our offense. We were out of position, and we got to play on the scoreboard a little bit. You can't do that. And, it's hard to keep good teams from doing that. That's one of the biggest challenges you have. When, like the first half, we were making every pass, extra pass, correct. We were in position on just about everything that we tried to execute, played great defense. What did we give them the first half? It wasn't many points, was it? 17 points?
Yeah, something like that.
And they're averaging 79 points a game, I think.
42-17 at the half was the score. And then they came, and you knew they were going to come back because they've got a good team.
I know their coach well, and Matt, again, has got a good relationship with her. We knew she was in there going to bring them back out. She did. But we started it all. We missed a 3. We missed a 2. We gave them a putback or 2 we were leading rebound in the first half. The second half, they dominated us rebounding. And we knew that they could get on the boards, but they really started getting aggressive and going to the boards, and it hurt us.
Well, in that fourth quarter, Jalen Gregory knocked down 4 3-pointers, finished with 7 for the game, led our team with 22 points. And the only downside was she missed her first free throw of the season.
Well, I think one of the things she said that she hadn't been that open this year. So, when you get that open, you got to take advantage of it. And she was wide open on 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah, and that free throw she missed was on a technical.
I think what goes unnoticed in this game was their second leading scorer, Jalen Gregory, shut her down. She didn't get a basket.
0 for 8 from
That's
the
right.
field.
So there you had 4 or 5 big-time defensive outings from 3 or 4 of our girls. So, you can see us coming together a little bit defensively now. You got Lex coming back. You got Courtney Blakely. You got Savannah, Jalen, Courtney Whitson, Anastasia in there to alter shots, Ksenia in there to alter shots. So, we're coming together, but we still got so much more room to improve.
All right, that's your first 8 games of the season, 6-2, and a net ranking of 18 nationally. We'll take a break, and Diane Turnham's going to join us on our next segment. Hope you'll stay with us for Rick Hensel Live on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Hi, we're RJ Young. We offer technology solutions that power your business, school, hospital, church, law firm, and more. RJ Young will empower your office to be the modern office. That means an office that integrates technology as a business advantage, all to help you work smarter. From managed IT services, office equipment, and technology, business process outsourcing, and digital communications, we're proud to be your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Come visit us at rjyoung.com.
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
Are you suffering from bad gift giving? Look for the signs. Do people avoid eye contact when opening your gifts? When your friends say, you really shouldn't have, do they really mean you really shouldn't have? On more than one occasion, have you been re-gifted the same gift you gifted that person the year before? If so, the new Holiday Instant Games from the Tennessee Lottery might be right for you. Available now at your local retailer. The Tennessee Lottery. Game-changing fun. Please play responsibly. Side effects include invitations to more parties and less awkward looks at gift exchanges.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Winning requires the right game plan. Like the impressive towing and payload you'll only find in the 2023 Ford F-150 truck. No wonder Ford F-Series are America's best-selling trucks 45 years straight. The 2023 Ford F-150. Greatness starts here. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales. The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
And welcome back into Rick Hensel Live, coming to you from the Boulevard Bar and Grill right here in Murfreesboro, just across the campus from the president's home.
Yes.
As the Raiders and the Lady Raiders celebrating some basketball history tonight. By the way, Bud Light is a proud sponsor of MTSU Athletics. Go Blue Raiders. And it's last call, not for Bud Light, but last call for your cards and comments. If you want to send them up here, Carson is going to make a final pass, and I've already got a nice stack up here we're going to go through on our next segment. Let me introduce someone who really needs no introduction. Diane Turnham is our senior women's administrator, associate athletic director, and joining us here. And Diane, we're celebrating a couple of things this week, and they just happen to tie in very nicely. The 50th anniversary of Title IX and of the Murphy Center.
You know, Dick, it's a great time to be in Blue Raider Athletics. It's exciting. When you stop and you think about 50 years of Murphy Center, some incredible things have happened, and I've just been so excited to walk around the top of Murphy Center and read those timelines, and having been a part of a lot of it. I've been with the university for 40 years, which still kind of blows my mind. Thank you. But the other thing is, we've talked a lot about Elvis being in the building, and I was a freshman in high school screaming my head off, and I did see Elvis in the Murphy Center. So,
Title IX, I want you to kind of go into how it got its beginnings, but we both go back to the time when there was no women's basketball here. And then it was kind of a club sport.
Yes.
And then it finally evolved into what it is right now, which is humongous.
Yeah, when you stop and think about it, some of the first teams in the late 60s and early 70s were club teams, and they had to buy their own shoes, coach themselves, drive themselves to the game. And two of those players, just to name a few, there's a lot, but Mary Nell Meadows, who was at Tennessee Tech for many years, was a grad of Middle Tennessee, and she played on our club team. And then Sue Gunner, who was at LSU for many years and very successful, was the player coach of that team. And you stop to think about 1972 when the first Title IX legislation was passed, just saying that you can't discriminate against any group. That turned around the fate for a lot of our women's athletic programs. Back then there were very few scholarships. There were very few full-time coaches. When I look back, I came here to coach with Larry Joe Inman, who was my high school coach.
Right.
And, I was the only full-time assistant he had. I was the first full-time assistant he had. And at that time, the men had 3 assistants that probably made triple what I made. And, but I didn't care because I got to coach college athletics with my old high school coach, and we were very fortunate even then. I came in 1982, and I think we won the conference championship about 6 years in a row and went to the NCAA. And so even though there were some strides for us to make to be equal to our men's program, we were still having a great time.
Yeah, that was the foundation of this program and taking it to where it is right now.
That's exactly right. I mean, I'm so excited for coaching them to be listed in the top 20 in the nation. Back in 1982 and 83 when I first came, basically we were kind of teetering on that top 25 too. So we've been very fortunate over the years to have some great women's basketball. And, it started in the high school programs. And Coach Rick Insel was down the road coaching at Shelbyville, and that was pretty exciting. Recruited a lot of his players, and Chris and I like to tell the story that even before he was hired and on campus, his first official act was to hire a women's basketball coach. And I remember he asked me what I thought about Rick Insel, and I said, well, it'll be a wild ride. and indeed it has been. We like to laugh and say that we recruited a lot of his players at Shelbyville. We didn't get too many of those, but we gave up and recruited him, and it's been uphill ever since. He's done a great job.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Murphy Center now. You and I were neither around when that building was built. You came here later and probably spent as many hours in that building as anybody, but
a few.
It's just something that is a love.
It is. I remember coming in and hearing so much about the glass house, and it was when, you think about Coach Murphy and everything he did to make sure that we got that new facility. He worked so hard to get it, and it was such a showcase, and it still is. I still love talking about the glass house. But when I first came, there was no Bridgestone Arena. And so every major concert that came to Nashville ended up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And so when you look at that, it's incredible to think about. But we've also had the girls' state tournament as well as the boys for a lot of years. And I just think that our city has been so rich to host those basketball championships. We've been very fortunate to have some great teams. And when you think about some of the great games in Murphy Center, hearing about Magic Johnson playing there, that was before I came. But we've had some big battles on that floor, and it's great to be a part of.
Right, and it doesn't hurt our recruiting to have that girls' state championship here every year either, does it?
You got to love it, and while we get our share of girls basketball players from those teams, I think it's also a great recruiter for the university, because a lot of people come here to celebrate a state championship, and they have a great time, and then they go, hey, I think I want to go to school to MTSU. So not only does it recruit great athletes, it recruits a lot of students for our community, and I think that's a huge plus for our
What part are you going to be playing on Thursday night when the big anniversary celebration is?
I think I'm just going to be like you, Dick. I'm
You're
just
going to
be
walk out
enjoying
there?
it. You know, I sit and I look around the room, and there's so many people that have been here for a large part of that. Mr. Ed Arning, who was the sports information director when I first came to MTSU, will be there along with Jim Simpson. And there's some incredible things that are going to happen, and I certainly don't want to unveil anything maybe that I'm not supposed to. But it's just going to be an incredible night. I was a young lady who knew a little bit about MTSU, probably more about Vanderbilt at the time, and I remember the F Troop, who knew that years later I was going to be working for one of those in Lee Fowler. So he'll be in the house with some former Vanderbilt players, and I think that's a great testament. We like to talk about the fact that we invited them to come up and play us on the 50th anniversary, but maybe they were just afraid to be a part of MTSU basketball right now. So that's a big credit to Coach Nick McDevitt and his team.
Yeah, Nick will be on here in just a few minutes with Chip on the second part of our show, but certainly it's going to be something to see on Thursday night. I think we're going to have the starting players from that game, the ones that are able to come are going to be here.
Yes. You know, it's so funny. I had lunch with a friend of mine today, and I ran into a former player who was in town last night for the reunion with Coach Earl and some of those players on the team, and they were so excited. You know, when you think about 50 years ago what Murphy Center and our campus looked like and what it looks like today, what an incredible time it has been, and incredible growth. And I'm just so proud of all the things that we've been able to do, not only in our sports programs, but in our academic programs.
You know, most buildings 50 years old in sports would have been bulldozed by now.
That's true. And, you know, it was an anomaly because of the 4 posts in each corners. A lot of people were afraid it was going to fall in, and I think we proved that wrong. We're going strong at 50.
And there are some renovations coming in the future through our Build Blue campaign.
You know, I'm so excited about that. We've done some things along the way. You know, several years ago we got all new seating, and nothing looks better than all those bright blue seats in there. We have new lighting, and there's just a lot of things that we've done to Murphy Center. But if you like what we've done so far, you've not seen anything yet. We're so excited about the renovations that will occur in Phase 2 of that Build Blue project.
So nice to have you up here and to chat with you. And you've just seen just about everything in your time at Middle Tennessee. We could probably go another 30 minutes or so.
I could probably go forever. I will say this. The one thing that I love about being a part of 40 years of Blue Raider athletics, you know, just thinking about when I came, I was asked to coach 2 sports. And I coached basketball, which I knew, and volleyball, which I had no idea about. And I was talking to a volleyball recruit today about how far we've come. Yeah. And so for Title IX, I'm very proud of the things that our former athletic directors and myself were able to do to upgrade all of our women's programs. And while we're not where we want to be, we're in pretty good shape, and I'm pretty proud of that.
Diane, thank you so much. Diane Turnham, ladies and gentlemen, Senior Women's Administrator. We'll be back and getting close to wrapping things up on Rick Unsel Live. The Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Hey, basketball fans, this is Coach Ensign, and I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about litter problems on our roadways. Did you know that the Tennessee Department of Transportation spends over $23 million each year just to pick up the litter? There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, our waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter. Remind others not to. And report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, Chip Walters here. Lightning's Locker Room, powered by Textbook Brokers, is the place to get your Blue Raider gear. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Lightning's Locker Room is just across the street from Floyd Stadium at 1321 Greenland Drive. It has all the MT polos, hoodies, T-shirts, hats, and all the other game day gear you'll ever need. See the selection online at mtsugear.com or at Gate 2A on game days. Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider, powered by Textbook Brokers.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Fill the halls with shouts of winning, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be giving, fa la 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 la. Instant games to friends and family, fa la 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 la. Join the joyous cash prize carol, fa la 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 la.
With top prizes up to $500,000, holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery make grand gifts. Find them at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer today. Please play and gift responsibly.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
News Radio WGNS, the flagship station for Blue Raider sports.
And welcome back into Rick Hensel Live on a Monday night from the Boulevard Bar and Grill, right across from the campus. Had one question, Coach, and several comments about favorite moments or favorite games at Murphy Center. This is about one of our players, Courtney Whitson.
Is Courtney Whitson eligible for another year of play? Yes, she is. That'll be strictly up to her and her family. But,
right.
You know, we welcome her back with open arms.
No doubt about that.
About 5 sets of open arms.
Okay. All right, here's some of your favorite moments from Murphy Center. Milbury Campbell says, too many favorite players to mention, but this player only played 1 year. The impact she made on this team was unprecedented. That was Dorsar.
A leader, absolutely a leader. Yeah, unbelievable young lady and just a natural leader. That's why right now she's in the Army over in Israel, and we welcome her back too. Hopefully she'll come back and maybe be a GA and whatever with us, but we welcome her back.
Tommy Campbell says his favorite game was beating Kentucky with Ebony Rowe, Courtney Jones, and Iceland Eli.
That's a big win.
They were ranked at the time, weren't they?
I think Matt was on that staff, I believe. I'm not
sure. I know he was. All right. Mr. Smith says his favorite player was Jackie Pickle. Your first recruit, wasn't she?
My very first recruit. I'd like to have a dozen more like her. I'll tell you, she can shoot that thing. We got one like her right now, Jalen Gregory, and her remind me of each other a lot.
Okay, this one is not signed, but Murphy memories, the NIT run last year, all the way to the semifinals.
That's big. It's big.
Losing by 1 point.
Well, we can't really remember that, all the good times we had leading up to that,
right.
But it was big.
Plus, anytime we beat Western or UAB.
Well, I don't know about UAB. We've dominated them, haven't we? But Western, anytime we can beat them. And I think if you look, we've dominated them also.
Here's a Murphy Center memory. Jennifer McKnight says, Charity Savage Senior Day.
That's big.
Yep.
Yeah.
Beating Kentucky and LSU.
Showed how good a coach I was. I kept Charity on the bench for, 3 years?
Yeah, we won't mention that.
Yeah, comes out and just dominates her senior year.
Okay. One of her favorite games, it was also, I think, probably my favorite game to call, beating Western Kentucky in all those overtimes. I don't remember how many there were, 3 or 4.
Well, we shouldn't have won in overtime.
The bench was empty, and all of your bench players finished the game and won it.
Oh yeah, it's big. But we shouldn't have won in overtime. I mean, she made a shot on the baseline to put us in overtime. Western did, but we stuck to it. And I think Rella had a good game maybe that night. They hated to see Rella show up.
108-103 was the final.
Great defensive game.
Also, the NIT run last year, which we talked about, and being undefeated at home in the regular season. Larry McElroy says his 2 favorite Lady Raiders, Alicia Clark, Caroline Warden.
2 of mine also. Caroline just had a child.
Yeah, she's got a new baby.
Yeah, and then Alicia Clark still playing. What a player! I mean, you just had to sit and watch it. One of those years that you just sat and watched Alicia every game. She just came out and done something that was just unbelievable.
She been playing in this era, she would have been able to play 3 years here because there was no sit-out rule when she came. She sat out a whole season. I watched her practice the whole season, and you played her on defense most of the time. She was guarding our offense.
Let me tell you about Alicia Clark. This is the most phenomenal stat that you'll get. You won't see it again in the NCAA. She got 42 the first round. She got 44 the second round. The last shot that was taken in the finals was her 50th point. 42, 44, and 50 points in 3 games in a tournament. And all 3 of them were like 1 to 5 point games.
That was at Little Rock, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
It wasn't at Little Rock. It was at Hot Springs. But
against Little Rock.
Against
that last
Little Rock.
game, yeah. All right, favorite players, Ty Petty, Amber Holt, Ebony Rowe.
Ebony Rowe, the rebounding leader and points leader, what do you say? I mean, every night you walked up there, you knew you were going to get double-figure rebounds, double-figure points.
Bob Burble says his favorite memory is seeing a great coach in Rick Ensel take MTSU basketball to the top. Rub you down a little bit, Coach.
Yeah. That only lasts to the next loss.
Lisa Beatty.
But I do appreciate you.
Lisa Beatty's favorite memory of the win over LSU in 2007, Kentucky win in 2011. Favorite player, Alicia Clark. I've saved this one for last now, Coach. You want to read this? This is my friend Don out there, who always encourages me to call a good game. And if we win, he said I called a good game.
Good gracious.
His memory, playing intramural football
on the same grounds at the Murphy Center.
Before it was built on those grounds, our team won in 1963 and lost to John Stanford's team in 1964.
I think if I remember right, there was also some asphalt, maybe 10 or 12 asphalt rims and goals, and I would come to the region tournament and the district tournament with my dad, and I would bring my ball, and I'd spend the whole time out there because it was lighted playing basketball against whoever's out there.
That may be one of your favorite memories, huh?
No, my favorite memory was the finals of the Sun Belt Conference. We were playing Western Kentucky. We were down at that time, won 18 points, came back and won the game by 18, and we had 4,600 people there, and I knew right then that we were at the right place. It was just a matter of getting everything. And then the very next game, next year, we had over 10,000 people there for the Maryland game.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to lead us up to our final commercial break. Rick Ensel Live will be back right after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity can be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and a proud partner of Middle Tennessee State University Athletics, because the difference is integrity and always in the detail.
Whether you go online or go in person, City Auto in Murfreesboro is where you go to see a gazillion cars and choose the one that's right for you. And there's no better time to go than now, because we have a bigger, brand new facility. It's the easy, comfortable, convenient way to find what you're looking for. Remember, cityauto.com is where you go to find your car online. And the all-new City Auto campus in Murfreesboro is where you go to see it in person. Go now, and we'll see you there.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
You're listening to MTSU Sports on WGNS.
Okay, back for the final time. Rick Ensel Live. We're going to have to light that scoreboard up on Wednesday night with Houston coming in.
They've got a good team, very athletic. They've won. They're 2-8, but they've lost like 2 or 3 games in overtime. They've lost to Florida by 1 or 2 points. They lost to Florida State by 2 or 3 points. So they played a tough schedule.
They had a shootout with Rice the other night.
Double overtime. They should have won the game, but Rice was playing in their gym, and they made some shots. So you got to give them credit. I think Rice is 8-0 right now. Am I correct on that?
You're correct. 6 o'clock Wednesday night, Houston will come in. I'd like to thank a lot of people for their help tonight getting us on. Carson Herbert, of course, we introduced him earlier. Darius White, our network producer, is a graduate. This is his final duty as a network producer. Darius, congratulations. Drew Strauss has been our TV producer, and I'd like to thank them also for their work tonight. So remember, our next show will be the first Monday in January. We're going to wrap it up here.
Go
from
Blue.
the Boulevard.
See you Wednesday night.
Nick McDevitt Live coming your way next on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Have a good night.
This has been Rick Ensel Live, presented by Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. Our coverage is also brought to you by Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Blue Raider Network.
WGNS.
Our family at Demas's Restaurant are proud to support local emergency responders who put their lives on the line for our community each and every day. This is Peter Demas, and here is this week's Demas's Emergency Responder of the Week.
An 81-year-old listener wrote that she was proof of the commercial, "I've fallen and I can't get up." She said, "I was on the floor for at least 2 hours when a neighbor found me and called 911. Paramedics Macklin Beckard and Sarah Melton rescued me. They were so kind and helpful. I was frightened, but they both calmed me and let me know that all would be okay. Thanks to their professional training, it was."
When you see a firefighter, police officer, paramedic, or telecommunicator going the extra mile, let WGNS know, and we at Demas's Restaurant will salute them as the emergency responder of the week.
The flagship station for Blue Raider sports. News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna. The Blue Raiders play here. On the Blue Raider Network, from Learfield, welcome to Nick McDevitt Live. Blue Raider basketball is presented by Bud Light, it's for the fans. Ascend Federal Credit Union, the exclusive credit union of Blue Raider Athletics. And by Ascension St. Thomas, official hospital partner of MTSU. Now, here is your host, the voice of the Blue Raiders, Chip Walters.
Welcome into the Boulevard on this Monday night for the first night of basketball coaches shows. Chip Walters here along with Coach Nick McDevitt, and we are, of course, coming to you from the Boulevard, right across from campus, our favorite sports bar and grill in Murfreesboro. So stop by today, and Coach McDevitt is here with us, and you guys have gone through exams and had one heck of a basketball game on Saturday to kind of move into the next phase of your schedule, and a busy couple of weeks here before Christmas.
It's been real busy. We're glad to be back here, though. It feels like it's been forever. We've just had the one game against Maryville here in Murfreesboro over the last month, it feels like. So it's nice to be back here, and got two big ones with Chattanooga and Murray State coming up before the Christmas break.
Certainly do, and we are obviously a very big week as well. And on Coach Ensel's show, they talked about it a good bit, and we're going to spend some time tonight celebrating, or kind of ramping up the celebration of 50 years of Murphy Center. Yesterday was actually the actual 50th anniversary of the first game played at Murphy Center. And, you know, the thing is, I have friends who come down, they may drive in from Nashville or wherever, come over and see a few games each year. And every time they say, gosh, that place still looks unbelievable. So it's been well taken care of.
It's been well taken care of. A lot of terrific events and concerts, and obviously graduations, and some big-time basketball games have been in there. And with the new glass that goes all the way around now, and the new paint scheme on the floor, looks as good as ever.
Yep. So, folks, who in here likes the new floor, the paint job on the floor? I think it's been pretty much unanimous. And when first came
It's more of just a gray wash of the wood finish. So, but it does look really good. It looks great when you're in the facility, but really when you watch it, when we're watching tape, watching film of practice or games, man, it really pops. I love the way it turned out.
Yeah, and I'm like you. I've seen, watching some of your scouting video, you'll have like several clips from maybe a game against that team here a year ago or from their arena. And then all of a sudden there's something from our news, and it just absolutely jumps out at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of jumping out at you, Saturday, not only are we celebrating 50 years of Murphy Center, but the 100th season of Middle Tennessee men's basketball that goes all the way back to 1911. Of course, there were some dates, years in there that were where they didn't play due to World War II. But I'm telling you, Saturday's game, for level of excitement up in Nashville, it'll probably rank, if you could pick 100 games over 100 years, that game may fall in that 100 because it had a little bit of everything.
Man, that one was fun. It really was. A good team, good program, a tough road win up at Belmont on Saturday. You go back and look at the 45 minutes of the game. It was tied for 10. We were up 17, and they were up 18. There were like 15 lead changes, 10 ties. It had a lot of, really, like you said, a little bit of everything. They made a bunch of threes. We made a bunch of twos. Set a school record with block shots in a single game with 13. T had an incredible night with 6 blocks himself. It was a fun game. And one of their players, Ben Shepherd,
wow,
man, he had a heck of a night as well. You just saw 2 really talented young men in Teofilo Leonard and Ben Shepherd for their team have big-time nights, and it came down, obviously need a little extra basketball to decide that one. So it was fun. And our crowd to make the trip up the road.
Raider Roadies were there.
Man, it was great.
It really was. A couple of things off the stat sheet. Number one, talk about Ben Shepherd, 8 of 9 from 3, but 5 of 15 from the line. I guess he was too close.
I guess so. But they might need to tell him to back up to shoot him. But he had a special night.
Unconscious.
He was making everything.
The shot he hit at the end of regulation, I'm not sure you could have guarded it any better.
Unless we'd have fouled him.
And you didn't want to do it well?
Well, we honestly we're talked about, fouling being up 3. Just don't want to foul with anybody facing the bucket and give him a chance to get to the free throw line. If his momentum would have been going away from the bucket, it would have been a little bit easier to foul him. But he caught it, and all of a sudden he's chest up with the basket. And even though he had been missing free throws, you're about to put their best player on the free throw line. So, we just had to go get it in the extra period.
Now, when they brought it in after the free throws, and it was a 3-point lead, if they had brought the ball into the back court, would you have fouled at that point?
For sure.
Yeah.
And if he had we wanted to foul in the front court, even in that possession, we wanted to foul had there been an easy opportunity for the foul.
They ran a really nice play to get the ball to midcourt.
Yeah, and if his momentum is going towards half court, it gives you an easier chance to foul and not be in the act of shooting. But the way he was shooting threes and the way he was shooting free throws, you talk about whether or not to foul him. Even if you put him on the line in the act of shooting, he's still got to make 3 free throws as opposed to 1-3. And the way he was shooting from those 2 spots, it wouldn't have hurt my feelings. But even then, you go back and watch it, and you got a 6'8" guy that's contesting, in Elias King, contested that shot, and he throws one in the bucket from about 30 feet.
You talked about the difference in the styles of play. Belmont outscores Middle from outside the arc 45-18. Middle outscores Belmont in the paint 50-14. Crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy, listening to Steve Lehman and Mike Organ, they were asking after the game, like, how have you ever seen a game that the swings from 2 and 3 were that big? Because both were saying is all the games that we cover, not sure I've ever seen that big of a spread for both teams. But that's what they are. That's who they are. They recruit a bunch of guys that can shoot threes, and we felt like we had an advantage in the post, and both teams played to those strengths.
One of the things you said about T. Leonard's performance after the game was, yes, you were proud of what he did, but you were equally, if not more, proud of how he went about it. He's an emotional guy. He plays with a lot of emotion, but he was able to keep that in check and use it to his advantage.
Yeah, I think for any player, particularly young players, when things are going really well early in the game, you can kind of get that feeling of, oh, tonight's my night. And now all of a sudden you start taking wild shots, taking chances on defense, and really playing outside of what it was that allowed you to start the game well. You see guys that take the right shots, and you can make those over and over throughout the course of the game. All of a sudden you make your first 2 or 3, and now you can see guys that just really start to jack shots at the rim. The other night, I thought even though he was blocking a lot of shots, playing at the rim, I didn't think he started to try to block everything and now take himself out of good defensive position. Or every time he caught it, try to just drive it and go dunk it. Because there in the first half, he had his finger on just about every aspect of that game on both sides.
And
that's as good of a performance as I've seen a college basketball player have in a while.
And Middle ended up blocking 13 shots, which is a new school record, for the most in 100 years of basketball. So they had in their mind that they were going to take it to the rim in the first half. They found out that was not going to work, and all of a sudden here comes Ben Shepherd, and that's when it really became two really different styles of play in the second half. And then what do you think the key was in overtime, or what threw the switch that allowed you guys to jump out and have the big lead and kind of cruise after about 2 minutes into the overtime?
Well, I thought there were two big areas. One is our first three baskets were right at the rim. We got up 76-70, and it was really three dunks. I mean, it was a layup by Dish and then dunk that got us up 76-70. But I thought a big point in the game was we were up 78-71, and the fouls happened with Tyson and T. And their kid comes in the game. Tyson fouls out. He makes his 2 free throws that cut it to 5. It was 78-73. And then we had to have JB shoot because of the contact to T's face.
Right.
T had fouled out of the game. I thought right then that was the biggest point in the game.
You came out of that even and then had the ball.
Well, we come out of it, and their guy had already shot and made him. And so now it's a 5-point game. Here comes Justin Buford to take T's spot because he had just fouled out. And to step up there and having not been in the game for a little while and make those, get the ball back, and then Eli Lawrence makes a pull-up jumper. And now all of a sudden we were up 9 with about 2 to go. I thought that was the first time that really either team had any kind of cushion to where you got to mess it up to give away the game.
Yep, we had several questions about that play in particular. We'll take a break and come back and kind of dissect that play just a little bit and get Coach's opinion on it. Tonight's show brought to you in part by the Murfreesboro Post, Rutherford County's local newspaper. Subscriptions to the Post are just $20 a year for 52 issues. Visit online at murfreesboropost.com today. Back after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
When you open a crisp, cold Bud Light, you know game day is here.
You owe me $5.
We mean every sound. Enjoy responsibly. 2022 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Introducing new Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda Variety Pack. You hear that? It's seltzer with the pop of soda, all with zero sugar. Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, the loudest flavors ever. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda, IRC Beers, St. Louis, Missouri.
For close to a century, doctors and care teams at Ascension St. Thomas Rutherford have been dedicated to delivering compassionate, personalized care to Rutherford County and surrounding communities. We are leading the way with new services and healthcare options, and we continue to make significant investments in Rutherford County. In 2023, we're opening Tennessee's first neighborhood hospital at West Lawn, and expansions at our Rutherford Hospital campus are underway. Find all the care you need at ascension.org/St. Thomas Rutherford.
Fill the halls with shouts of winning, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be giving, fa la 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 la. Instant games to friends and family, fa la 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 la. Join the joyous cash prize carol, fa la 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 la.
With top prizes up to $500,000, holiday instant games from the Tennessee Lottery make grand gifts. Find them at your nearest Tennessee Lottery retailer today. Please play and gift responsibly.
This holiday, whether you're roasting a Kroger Simple Truth turkey for 40 or making a Murray's Baked Brie for 2, whether you're baking a pie with fresh Cosmic Crisp apples like Grandma's or ordering private selection cream pies when Grandma's pie is all gone, Kroger has fast, fresh delivery and free pickup, so you can make holiday meals that bring you all together to create memories that last. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
Put Lee Company on your team to keep you and your family warm this season. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good no matter how cold it gets. Their expert technicians can perform a 22-point inspection and tune-up to ensure your HVAC system is good to go no matter how cold it gets. And while you're at it, ask them how to get endless hot water by installing an energy-efficient tankless water heater. Schedule your appointment today at leecompany.com or give them a call at 615-867-1000. Lee Company, all you need.
The MTSU Alumni Association is proud of its more than 130,000 living alumni who are leading, teaching, entertaining, researching, flying, farming, nursing, and more worldwide. Every Blue Raider accomplishment adds value to your degree. Are you connected to the MTSU National Alumni Association? Visit mtalumni.com to share what you're doing, update your information, and see how you can be involved and informed. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
The Blue Raiders play here. WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight. Our show brought to you in part by the Lee Company. Blue Raider fans, get ahead of the game with the best home services team in town for your heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electrical, and home improvement needs. Lee Company is the team to call, 615-867-1000 or leecompany.com. And, Coach, I wanted to don my pirate hat for honor of Mike Leach and wish all the best for he and his family in a really, really tough time. We talked about the call of the where the two fouls were called. What, as Ed Arning had a question here, what took them so long to figure that out? And my question is, what happened first? Did T get hit in the face first, or was the block first? Because if he got hit in the face first, time should stop right there.
Foul out.
He should not have fouled out, in my opinion.
Yeah, they went to the monitor there for a while, it seemed like. I don't know how it felt in the stands, but on the sideline it seemed like it was forever before we were getting something. But I know those guys wanted to get the call right. At that point, we're already in overtime, but they called the block on T, which was his fifth. We had then subbed in Justin Buford for T. T comes to the sideline, and his mouth is bleeding. I mean, you could tell he got hit. I said, what's going on? He said, he hit me in the face. And so we asked the officials to look at the monitor to see if he actually was there contact from one of their players, and it was the guy that was driving the ball. As he was driving the ball, his arm hit him in the face, which even though it was incidental contact, you get to shoot technical free throws. And so they were looking to see, was there that contact to where we were awarded free throws. Well, now they started trying to figure out, since there was, we said, well, then we want to sub this guy. And they said, no, you've already made that sub. Then you asked for the review. I said, well, he didn't tell me anything until after I'd already subbed for him. And he said, no, your free throw shooter has to be the guy you had already subbed. And so Justin Buford went to the free throw line, and then they started having to look at the clock, make sure the time was right, and then go to point of interruption. Point of interruption, you don't often see. We got the ball side out in the backcourt after both teams got to shoot free throws. So they were taking a hard look at a lot of different things. That's a lot of details that hopefully listeners at home can kind of follow along with what we're doing.
And Casey was going, how can you call two fouls on the same play with it not being a double foul? And that's a good point.
I think it's a great question. And oddly enough, both teams, both guys, that was it for both of them.
Yeah, I've never seen that before where two guys fouled out on the same play.
On the same play.
And both in their replacements, both ended up shooting free throws. I've never seen that.
And came in and made them.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, but it was a crazy but an important portion of the game. I'm glad T was able to verbalize what had happened to him, or else all of a sudden it's just two free throws for them. T's out. Cade Tyson would have still been in the ball game, and that had been a 5-point ball game.
Yeah, at that point, and he was having a pretty good day. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a quick break and spend a little bit longer segment with Coach talking about how the Raiders have gotten from the start of the season up to this point and where things are with the ball club, as they are now 7-3 on the year and have played an awfully tough schedule. And we'll document just how that has been. But right now we'll take a break. Back with Coach Nick McDevitt after this on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Every week, our Blue Raiders go the extra mile to make sure they're at their very peak. At Sunbelt Bakery, they do the same thing to make sure their granola bars are at their peak. Every week, Sunbelt Bakery brings new batches of granola bars from their bakery to your neighborhood. That's why Sunbelt Bakery's granola bars taste like they just baked them. Because they did. Try a Sunbelt Bakery granola bar today and taste the difference. Sunbelt Bakery. Bakery fresh taste. No preservatives.
MT Dining is eating made easy. With more than 19 dining locations, you'll never run out of variety on campus. Whether it's Chick-fil-A, Steak and Shake, or Starbucks, we've got the brands you love right here. Need a quick snack or Scantron? Stop by one of the 6 pods on campus. And try out MT Dining's new Farm to Fork experience. Farmers Market now open. Located in the Student Union. Visit mtdining.com for more information. Or visit our office in the Keithley University Center, room 202.
Blue Raider fans, with more local brews than ever before, you are sure to find a local favorite this season in the Blue Raider Beer Garden. Enjoy the thrill of the game in the south end zone at each home football game, and try out our selection of brews from Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, or Life is Brewing, all available for your tasting pleasure in the Blue Raider Beer Garden. Thank you, Cedar Glade Brews, Mayday Brewery, and Life is Brewing for your support of MTSU Athletics.
Hey, Blue Raider fans, Chip Walters here. Lightning's Locker Room, powered by Textbook Brokers, is the place to get your Blue Raider gear. Open Monday through Friday from 8 to 6 and Saturdays from 10 to 4. Lightning's Locker Room is just across the street from Floyd Stadium at 1321 Greenland Drive. It has all the MT polos, hoodies, T-shirts, hats, and all the other game day gear you'll ever need. See the selection online at mtsugear.com or at Gate 2A on game days. Lightning's Locker Room, the official game day provider, powered by Textbook Brokers.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Middle Tennessee Electric proudly supports the Blue Raiders, and we're proud to power the scoreboard lights at Floyd Stadium. When it comes to the electric service in the community, you can always trust MTE to do what's best for our members. We serve by providing affordable, reliable, safe electricity and outstanding member services. Here at MTE, we serve to make life better for our members and their communities. Visit MTE.com to learn more. And about that scoreboard, well, light it up, Blue Raiders.
The flagship station for Blue Raider sports, WGNS.
Welcome back into the Boulevard tonight. Nick McDevitt live. Glad to have you along with us, whether you're listening with your ears or watching on social media on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter this evening. Tonight's show brought to you in part by Tri-Green Equipment. They know the value of teamwork. They have the tractor packages with implements you need. Get started online at TriGreenEquipment.com and score a new John Deere tractor package at a comfortable low monthly rate. Tri-Green Equipment, a tried and true partner of Blue Raider Athletics. Go Blue. All right, Middle Tennessee 7-3 after the 10-point win at Belmont. But, Coach, the non-conference and one conference game that you played up until that point, the previous 9 games, it's been not an easy schedule. You did have the 2 non-D1s in there because you choose to play scrimmages instead of exhibitions, and that's just something that's pretty much what coaches choose to do, one way or the other. But going to Canada, going to St. Bonaventure, going to Missouri State, going to Winthrop, this team is getting a road test and getting some bark on them before the conference race.
That's a good way to say it, getting some bark on them. I don't think I've heard that one too much, but we're getting battle tested. We really are, and that's really what you want in non-conference play is to see what you got on a neutral floor against good teams. You want to try to you got to put yourself in position in March to be able to win 3 games in 3 days against 3 really good teams on a neutral floor. And I liked how we were able to play 3 games in Canada against 3 completely different styles of play, from Hofstra, Stephen F. Austin, and Montana State, all teams that are will be towards the top of their league, if not the top in their respective leagues at the end of the year. To go on the road to places like St. Bonaventure, Belmont, Winthrop, Missouri State, you've got to be able to win tough home games. We've already got one under our belt with the win against Rice, but got Chattanooga and Murray State coming up here. And you've got to hold serve. Right now, if you look at what is going on with the other teams in this league, they're really good teams. And if you're going to be at the top, you've got to hold serve at home. There are 5 teams, including ourselves, in the top 90 in the country in the net on the men's side right now. It's life in this league is going to be hard. Look at what UAB and Charlotte and FAU, they're 11 right now in the net. So there are a lot of really good teams. So we've got to be ready to go.
As of about 4 o'clock this afternoon, here's where teams in Conference USA stand in the net. And if you don't, we're still getting used to the net
instead of RPI.
But the net, FAU right now, folks, they're 7-1, and they are number 11 in all of college basketball in the net. UAB is 63rd. They've got a really good team. North Texas, 66th. Charlotte, 74th. Charlotte right now 8-2 on the year. Western Kentucky, or Middle Tennessee rather, 88th. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 100 in our league. Western Kentucky is at 125. Louisiana Tech, 163. UTEP at 182. So you've got 8 or 9
in the top half,
in the top 200, top 150. Then you've got Rice, UTSA, and FIU that round out. And in Ken Pom, folks are basketball junkies that follow Ken Pomeroy and his site kenpom.com. Middle is 118th, and also has Conference USA ranked as the number 11 league in the country out of 32, and that is ahead of the Atlantic 10. But A10 and Conference USA switched over the weekend. And also the Missouri Valley, who Belmont and Murray are part of now, is 13th. So the league is way better, especially at the top.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult all year. And that's what our non-conference schedule has been as well. There aren't any gimmies, and there won't be any gimmies in the league this year. There aren't any teams where you can play okay and win. You've got to play good, and that's kind of where we are. Like I said, with every game this year, and it won't be any different once we get the league play. Charlotte is much improved from last year. And that one will be a tough one as we go there on December 29th.
Yeah, and I tell you, between now and New Year's Eve, you've got Chattanooga here, you've got Murray here, you go to Charlotte, and you've got Western Kentucky here. That's I'd like to have that 4-game ticket package right there.
Yeah, I'd like to have 4 wins in there too.
That's right.
That'd be awfully good. But we can. We just got to play good. You got to play good every night. You can't play okay.
The trip to Canada and the success you had there really reminds me of the growing up that your team had a year ago in Cancun.
Yeah, I think that's really what you hope for in those trips and why you schedule them. For one, you're going to spend a lot of time with each other. You're going to get to know each other really well, whether you want to or not. And our guys, we had a really productive trip. You can go on those sometimes, and you can put the fun and the field trip aspect of a trip like that before the business portion and why you're there in the first place. Go compete and win some games. And I thought our team did a really good job of keeping the main thing, and that was to go up there to win against good teams. And then although we didn't win at St. Bonaventure, I thought that was as good that we have played in a hard environment against a good team over the last couple of years. We never looked rattled, played hard, shot it awful, but still we're down 1 with 45 seconds to go in the game. And for those that have never, and I would doubt there's very many in here that have been to a game at St. Bonaventure, because, man, it is out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're an hour and a half from nowhere.
Yeah.
And there isn't much to do in that town, but the people that are in that town,
they
love some St. Bonaventure basketball. And it was packed. The students, I mean, they're really, there's nothing else to do. There's not I didn't see the movie theater.
You're an hour and a half from Buffalo.
Yes.
And that's the closest
and
thing.
So that is the entertainment. And, man, it was loud. The student section is right on you. And it was a great college basketball environment. I thought our guys handled that well.
That was as good of an example of playing well, shooting poorly.
And giving yourself a chance to win. And we talk about that so much. If you will just be just tough, mentally, physically tough, play with great effort, have a good attitude, you can win some of those games. You can have nights where you shoot it bad and still play good and win. And most of the time, over the course of a tournament, whether it's a 3-game or a 4-game tournament, I don't want to shoot it bad in one of those games and go home.
Right.
Because you shot it bad. Still figure out a way to shoot poorly in a game and just figure it out and win. And I thought had that one been on a neutral floor, that would have been a win for us, as poorly as we shot it.
Yeah, and then you kind of felt like when it went through, kind of got away.
Yeah, that one I thought we didn't handle the stuff. I mean, it was homecoming for Winthrop. Second game of the year. We're at their place, big crowd. They don't have football, so they have homecoming around men's basketball games. So a raucous environment, and we didn't handle it very well. And all of a sudden you look up and you're down 15, 17 points. And that's a big thing to overcome. And it never got to that against St. Bonaventure. And so that was one of those things where as a staff and as a program we're starting to look and say, okay, that although the outcome was the same, the way those two games were played were very, very different. If we keep that up, we'll be just fine. And then it showed itself on Saturday at Belmont.
Yep, and a lot of that right there, what you just heard, is how the Raiders are 7-3 going into 2 more home games before Christmas. We'll take a timeout, and we're going to take us a chance to talk to Jim Simpson and Ed Arning about the 50th anniversary celebration of Murphy Center next on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
The way we do work has changed. Where we work, how we work, and the day-to-day challenges we face as businesses have evolved. As organizations continue to adapt, RJ Young is here to help. We're your one-stop for technology solutions that power your business. Whether it's office technology and equipment, managed IT services, business process outsourcing, or digital communications, we can help make your workflows easier, faster, and more efficient so your team can focus on the core of your business. To learn more about what RJ Young can do for you, visit themodernoffice.com.
You know, I've always wanted to go on a tour of the West Coast. No rush, just take it all in, one view at a time.
We all have things we hope to do someday. At Ascend, we offer great rates and share our profits to help make your someday soon.
Oh, and you better believe I'm renting a convertible.
Ascend Federal Credit Union. Open your account today.
Hey Blue Raider fans, this is Dr. Mark Hardison with Middle Tennessee Oral and Implant Surgery. We are so proud to be able to serve the Blue Raider teams and their families when they need wisdom teeth removed, dental implants, or other specialty oral care. Our mission is to provide health care as it should be, providing compassion, availability, and excellence to every one of our patients. We deeply appreciate the support of your business as we join in supporting our team. Let's go Blue!
Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance takes great pride in treating Middle Tennessee State University athletes. Experts in bones, joints, and muscles, and with more than 60 specialists in locations across Middle Tennessee, TOA has a playbook to get you back in the game. To request an appointment, visit us at TOA.com or give us a call at 855-NEED-TOA. Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, or TOA, the official team doctors for Blue Raider Athletics.
Hey basketball fans, this is Coach McDevitt, and I want to talk some trash. No, not about the game. I want to talk about the litter problem on our roadways. Did you know that the Tennessee Department of Transportation spends over $23 million every year just to pick up litter? There's over 100 million pieces of litter on our roadways at any given time, making our state unsightly and unsafe. Litter harms our highways, waterways, even our wildlife. So let's do something about it. Don't litter, remind others not to, and report littering when you see it. We can beat litter, but only if we're all on the same team. Join the movement today. Visit NobodyTrashesTennessee.com and go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown is proud to be a longtime supporter of MTSU athletics and your locally owned HVAC and plumbing company. For 82 years, Roscoe Brown has been the trusted name in heating, cooling, and plumbing for Middle Tennessee homeowners and businesses. Call 1-888-MY-ROSCOE to schedule your HVAC or plumbing service today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Roscoe Brown. People you know, a name you trust. Go Blue Raiders.
Roscoe Brown. RoscoeBrown.com. The Blue Raiders on News Radio WGNS.
Welcome back into the Boulevard on this Monday night. Our first basketball show of the year. We'll have another one on January 2nd. Then we'll skip a couple of weeks due to a couple of different things, games and other things, and then back on the 23rd of January and go throughout the rest of the season with Coaches Insel and Coach Nick McDevitt. Glad to have Jim Simpson to my right and Ed Arning to my far right, and both have been heavily involved for about a year now in the process of putting together the celebration that we're going to have on Thursday night at Murphy Center, celebrating 50 years of the Glass House. And guys, are you getting a little antsy in anticipating, because there's a lot of things, Jim, that are all of a sudden that may not have been in the plans early but are starting to kind of come together out of nowhere?
Yeah, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle that have to be put together, and they're all coming together. We're real pleased about the way it's coming together.
There was one thing is that in all the meetings we've had up until about 2 weeks ago, there was really not much thought of any of the Vanderbilt players who played in that opening game that were going to be here. But all of a sudden, Lee Fowler comes out of the woodwork and says, hey, I'm going to invite some of my old teammates because he played in the game. And so that's going to be fun, isn't it, Ed?
It's just going to be a fantastic, Chip, to see these combatants from 50 years ago come together and celebrate their game in Murphy Center.
It is. And who are some of the folks that are going to be coming from both teams that played that first game?
Well, as far as the Blue Raiders are concerned, in 1972, we have quite a number. I've got 13 total people.
Wow.
Coming from that. We have, let's see here. I can't see this, Chip.
I know. You need your glasses?
Need my glasses.
So, Ed, you got it right there. But there will be two groups. One thing we don't want to do at their age, we don't want to have a pickup game between them at halftime. We might have some broken hips out there.
Yeah, I told Lee Fowler we might throw a ball out there, and he said, no, there are not enough ambulances in town to get all these people back to the – I was talking to Lee about coming down here, and we invited him because I think he was an athletic director here, and so he gladly accepted. And I asked him just on the side, do you ever see any of your Vandy teammates from that era? And he said, yeah, one or two every once in a while. I said, well, bring them on if you want to. That'd be fun. Called me back the next morning early and was very excited. He had already talked to 4 or 5 of them, and they had said they'd really love to come. And Ray Maddox in particular was a guy he ran into, and Ray says, yeah, we'd love to come. He said, Vanderbilt never invites us back to anything.
Well, I think, just off the bat, I think Jerry Stackhouse may have been invited to bring his team down here and said no. So
he didn't. He politely declined.
You pulled some over there?
Yeah, Chip, you asked about who's coming back, and just some of the names right off the bat. Jimmy Powell, who that night had 19 points for the Blue Raiders and was very dominant. Chester Brown, Mason Bonner, Jimmy Martin, our point guard. And one of the ones that is not back, he has passed away. But, Jim, a great story about the emergence of Tim Cisneros. Tell that quick story.
Tim was a freshman on that team, and they went on a 2-game road trip to start out with in Texas. And Tim played a little bit. I think Chester Brown was a 6'9" center that played for us, a post player, very good player from Clanton, Alabama. And so they came home against Vanderbilt, and Chester, who will be here with us Thursday night, started the game and didn't have a very good game against their 7'5" center. And so they substituted Tim in there as an 18-year-old freshman, and he scored, I think,
Chip, he double-double, 10 rebounds, 12 points as a freshman against the 7-footer for Vanderbilt.
So the start of a career there.
Yeah, absolutely a start of a career. What has been the most satisfying thing about this process of doing this for each of you? For me, it has been the shining the light on players and teams and events and concerts over 50 years and people having great memories of that and being able to enjoy that.
Well, you nailed it right there, Chipper. It's just so exciting to see the breadth of the memories. They weren't just graduations of their children. It wasn't just a ball game. It wasn't just a concert. And one of our historians noted the fact that the university chose to put this iconic building on a main street and not tuck it back in the campus, and that led to even more just positive notoriety for this structure being right there, main thoroughfare in this city, and just so many memories.
And Chris Massaro talks about that outside of maybe the Rutherford County Courthouse that still has bullet holes from the Civil War, that Murphy Center may be the most iconic building in the county.
I don't think there's any question about it. It's been here 50 years, and tens of thousands of people, almost everyone that lives in this community has had some kind of a memory of that building.
Yeah, and and each one of us has different memories that mean so much. It might be the first win over Tennessee in the NIT. It may be the fight with Tech. It could be, whatever concert it might have been. The ones that Dick and Coach Insel talked about, the great women's basketball victories. There's so many different things you can pull from. State tournament games that you might have come to. I remember the biggest crowd I ever saw in there for a state tournament game was when Haywood County was playing whoever, but Tony Delk, who had just signed with Kentucky, was playing that game, and all the Blue Misters had come down from north of the border to see their guy. And that's been one of the real cool things, is to see all the lists. And kind of the other fun part of it too is how certain people don't agree with that list or this list, but that's part of the fun of it.
One of the big nights there was when Mike Rhodes from Perry County was playing in the state tournament.
Yep.
And we had so many people in there that we had to lock the doors and not sell any more tickets. And the second game was over with, and about 1,000 people left, and we got to sell those tickets again.
That's happened at college games too, if I remember right. But in speaking of that, of course, the men have been playing there since the doors opened. Women's basketball, once it became a varsity sport, obviously started playing their games there as well. The girls' state tournament has been there since
74, I think.
And the men's tournament was there for a few years. Went to Nashville for a couple of years, then came back, and it's been there ever since. So besides however many people in the mid-state who have walked across that graduation stage, whether in college or high school, and all of the high school basketball players from across the state who have played in that building, it certainly is something very, very special.
There's no doubt about it, Chip. I remember some of the great girls basketball games. Bradley County would bring their teams up, and you thought all of Eastern Tennessee had come to the arena that night.
That was 6-on-6 too.
That was 6-on-6, and then you had the last 6-on-6 game ever played in the state of Tennessee was between Riverdale and Warren County.
Okay.
And Warren County ended up winning the state championship that night, and it was the 5th time they played each other. Riverdale had won the first 4 games, and Warren County did that. And then the very next year, the first 5-on-5, Kim Webb and Smyrna were the winners. So there's a lot of history there that ties back to the Blue Raiders. Jim, you sold a lot of tickets not only to basketball games but to concerts. What was the craziest situation you ever dealt with tickets as far as shows were concerned?
Charlie Daniels and the Volunteer Jam.
Really?
Yeah, everybody was lit up pretty good by the time they got there. And the show went on for like 8 hours. And
it did. It started at like noon, went to midnight.
I thought if I ever heard another yee-haw, I would be happy.
Harold Smith tells a story about the one that got away, and that was Frank Sinatra. That Frank Sinatra was scheduled to come to Murphy Center but had to cancel, and Harold was worried. He goes, we'd already sold $160,000 worth of tickets, which right now would not be all that much when you think about it. But tomorrow or Thursday night when you come to the arena, this will be the game program. And make sure you get one of those because there's a box score of the Middle Vandy game from 1972. Great photos from the old days, including of that first game, including Lee Fowler right there is in there. Then you've got all kinds of stuff about concerts in the building. Then you've got, as you get to the back, you've got the rosters and the lineups for both the teams, Middle and Chattanooga, coming up. So it's going to be a fun night. There are going to be some surprises along the way. But one thing I want to tell folks to be ready for is be ready to hang around after the game, because the media or athletic communications, Matt Posey and his crew in particular, have put in tons of hours building a documentary. Speaking of Matt Posey, there he is right there. Give him a nice round of applause on the front end. But after the game, you've already seen a little trailer of it on social media. You'll see a little bit longer trailer at halftime. And then after the game, you're going to see about 10 minutes worth of what is a 40-minute documentary about Murphy Center. And when you wake up on Friday morning, that will be on YouTube. So
lots of interviews with lots of people who have been instrumental in that building throughout the years. Got some interesting takes on the building and some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. It's really a nice piece.
For folks who want to learn more about that, coming up on Wednesday morning on my show on the WGNS Roundtable, we're going to be doing it from the floor of Murphy Center. These two guys, Jim Simpson, Ed Arning, Charlie Pigg, Bill Smotherman, Harold Smith, and Jimmy Earl are going to be on Wednesday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. That'll be a lot of fun.
With 2 microphones.
No, well, there'll be some fist fights over that if we only have 2. But we'll have a lot of fun. Hope you all will tune in for that. You guys, thanks so much for spending time and reminiscing, going down memory lane a little bit.
It's going to be fun. And don't forget, there are $4 tickets out there.
$4 tickets, that's right. Roll back the clock to 1972. You can go to goblueraiders.com/tickets and get your $4 tickets for the game on Thursday night. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Jim.
All right, Ed Arning and Jim Simpson will take a break. Coach comes back in just a moment. You're listening to the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Hey Blue Raiders fans, the Mint Gaming Hall Kentucky Downs is a proud partner of your Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders. For good times and big wins, the Raiders and the Mint Gaming Hall deliver both. Located close by in Franklin, Kentucky, the Mint Gaming Hall is your spot for great food, cold drinks, and big jackpots. Ready for dinner? The all-new Iron Steakhouse awaits you. Come hungry and be prepared to be impressed. Check out themintgaming.com for all the details. Get your big hit today.
Hey basketball fans, this is Coach McDevitt. It's never lost on Window World that your home is your largest physical investment. Window World's integrity will be noticed from your very first moment of contact. The clean, professional installation of premium windows, siding, doors, and more are designed to last while leaving your home looking amazing. Window World and their lifetime warranty will always be there when it really matters. They're America's most trusted remodeler and a proud partner of MTSU Athletics because the difference is integrity and always in the details.
Las Casas Drugs is a proud sponsor of Blue Raider Athletics, located at 4702 Las Casas Pike, just minutes from Murfreesboro. Las Casas Drugs strives to provide all of your pharmaceutical needs in that hometown atmosphere you deserve. Family-owned and operated, Las Casas Drugs offers free delivery, immunizations, drive-through window, gift shop, merchandise, and medication management programs. Come by and see how we can make a difference. And go Blue Raiders.
You buy something because you found it at a low price, and soon you realize it's no bargain because you really needed something better. It happens all the time, especially with car insurance. But the good news is you can get the right coverage at the right price. Just talk to me, State Farm Agent Bud Morris. I'll help you get the right coverage at a price that's right for you. Call me at 893-1417 today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I'm Bud Morris, providing insurance and financial services.
Whether you go online or go in person, City Auto in Murfreesboro is where you go to see a gazillion cars and choose the one that's right for you. And there's no better time to go than now because we have a bigger, brand new facility. It's the easy, comfortable, convenient way to find what you're looking for. Remember, cityauto.com is where you go to find your car online. And the all-new City Auto campus in Murfreesboro is where you go to see it in person. Go now, and we'll see you there.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The Blue Raiders on News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Welcome back into Nick McDevitt Live. Glad to have a big crowd here on opening night at the Boulevard. They've been great hosts for us. And, Coach, you've been part of watching all the planning going on for this event. And, I think it's really cool when everybody in this society right now, it's all about the newest and the shiniest and all of that. But where our fan base has reached out, wrapped their arms around something that goes so deeply into this community.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see and be a part of it. There are some things to it, though, that it does have some bells and whistles to it. But at the same time, it's when you pull up from the outside, it other than the new glass, looks an awful lot like it did years ago. The long kind of shallow steps, if you will, that
the
go
step and a half steps.
The step and a half steps that make getting just into the building unique.
Well,
you can't go all the way around the building on the second floor. You can go all the way around the building down on the bottom when you get in, and obviously all the way around up top on the concourse, but you end up having to go up to the second floor in each corner of the building.
Yep.
And have to go down or up to get to the other side. So it's got it has its quirks, but that's what makes it unique and makes it home.
Well, here in several years, as the Bill Blue campaign goes along, more bells and whistles are going to be coming along, and the old lady's going to get some TLC she deserves.
Man, I can't wait for that too. It's been a good place for us, but hopefully it can be a spot where even the next 50 years, it's just as special. Man, you look like you got some 5 random questions.
I do have, and see, even with all this talk, we can't let this get away. Some traditions are just hard to kill, and this one is coming back again. So for the first time this year, it's 5 random questions with Nick McDevitt. Made them easy for you this week.
Soft toss.
We're in between 2 major holidays here. So, what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I love dressing, and I love pecan pie. Is it pecan pie?
We're twins.
Is it
oh, no, it's pecan pie.
It's pecan
here.
pie.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. Is it stuffing or dressing?
It's dressing.
Agreed, both.
If it's not out of the bird, it's dressing.
I call it dressing and pecan pie as well.
There you go. Well, in that same mode, it seems like we talk about food an awful lot. Should traditional in your house is Thanksgiving food the same as Christmas food, or is it a different menu on Christmas?
There are a lot of similarities.
Yes.
A lot of similarities. Tend to be more turkey at Thanksgiving and a little more ham
at Christmas.
At Christmas.
I'm right with you.
Yeah.
I understand that. With Christmas coming up, what's the best thing you ever got in your stocking?
In my stocking.
Not under the tree, but in your stocking.
I don't know.
Well, Lauren had kind of an evil laugh over there, as if she knew something.
Yeah. It's usually things like practical things.
Yeah, it was always like deodorant and
toothbrush
and
and toothpaste and
exactly.
deodorant. My grandmother used to always, it was actually my mom's grandmother, always every year pair of white socks.
Okay.
And my mom would put them in our stocking for us, but that's what she gave everybody was socks for Christmas.
All right, number 4. Real quick answer here. How long before you have an electric car?
Don't know. A couple of years until the ones that we've got, until the wheels fall off of them.
I understand. What's your favorite day of the week?
Favorite day of the week? Game day, baby.
The ones that end in Y, right?
Yeah, game day.
All right, there's 5 random questions with Coach. We'll take a quick break and wrap it up after this and look ahead to Thursday night with Chattanooga coming in here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.
Murfreesboro Medical Clinic is proud to be the official medical group of MTSU Athletics. We all win big when we work as a team for better health. Just like MTSU's athletes and coaches, our healthcare professionals work tirelessly to make our community proud. At MMC, we really are true blue. MTSU is our hometown team, and your health is our mission. Visit mmclinic.com or call us at 615-893-4480.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around.
After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor.
I drink and drive all the time. If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
At Tri-Green Equipment, they know the value of teamwork. They have the tractor packages with implements you need. Get started online at TriGreenEquipment.com and score a new John Deere tractor package at a comfortable, low monthly payment price. Tri-Green Equipment is a tried and true partner of MTSU Athletics. Go Blue!
Nothing is more expensive than a missed opportunity that could have changed your life. Maybe you're just graduating high school, or are working and need to earn a degree to advance your career. Or you aspire to be a leader, and a graduate degree can make that happen. Whether you're just starting out or retooling for the future, Middle Tennessee State University can help you get there. MTSU, the University of Opportunities.
The Blue Raiders play here. News Radio WGNS.
Coach, we got just over a minute to go, and you've got Chattanooga coming in on Thursday night. Really good team. They're 7-3 also.
They're 7-3. They can really shoot the ball. Their best shooter is 7 foot 275.
Who's guarding him?
Yeah, that's right. Jake Stevens, 7 foot 275. Is averaging over 20 points a game, shooting over 40% from three. He's a tough cover.
Yeah, let everybody else worry about the 50th anniversary celebration. You guys go take care of that 40 or however many more minutes it might take, but whatever it takes to get the win. And I know a lot of former players and former coaches are coming back this week.
Yeah, really looking forward to having a lot of the players from the 72 team come. Coach Will, David Farrar, Jimmy Earl will be back. So be nice to have some of the old coaches being back in the building.
Absolutely it will. Thank you all for being here tonight. Don't forget women's basketball against Houston on Wednesday, Middle and Chattanooga on Thursday. And you can hear it all right here on the Blue Raider Network from Learfield.